happy GA Recap Monday! On Monday! How freaking awesome is that? I'm so excited to be bringing you a brand new recap for a brand new episode of Ghost Adventures. I am so glad to be back doing this because I was getting drained and exhausted from ranting and getting all sassy on Mondays, and then it was just wigging me out for the rest of the week. So I'm so excited to be actually doing GA Recap Monday on Monday, which means that my kid is better, I'm well rested, and I'm back to my normal filming schedule. Hashtag yay! As you can tell, I'm extra perky today. I've had a little bit of Dr. Pepper this morning. I've had a little bit of caffeine, a lot of Starbucks. So if I'm a little more bouncy than usual, it's like me on steroids. Excited, I know. But we are going to get right into it because we have lots to discuss, and talk about and drool over, but we will get into that in just a second. So here we go. Like I said, the guys returned to Tombstone, Arizona and reinvestigated the Birdcage Theater and a new location known as Big Nose Kate's Saloon, which was actually the bar in the former Grand Hotel. Now, this episode, oh my, starts out with like the most epic skit that I have ever seen the GAC do, like, ever. It starts with the boys like walking into town like they are outlaws. And they were a whole new level of sexy. OMF to the G. I was like, oh, I had a spike in my EMF detector. Let me tell you what. Oh, woo, I'm getting all hot and bothered thinking about it. It was just like cowboy hats and trench coats and sexy men. Oh my. It was steamy. And ladies, I know you all are going to put your hands up and say hallelujah, amen, because you are sitting there going, you preach it, girl, you know, and the guys are sitting there going, SMH. SMH. Anyway, moving on. Following that whole 50 Shades of Sexy, the guys go into the Birdcage Theater to actually pay their respects to Leroy Colomé. Now, if you watched the original episode of the Birdcage Theater investigation in 2009, you remember Leroy. He was one of the guys that they interviewed there at the Birdcage, and he was actually tragically shot recently, and they really couldn't talk a lot about it, what happened, because it's still under investigation and such, or at the time the show was filmed, it was still under investigation, and so much condolences and love to their family during that time, because I know that's really hard and it doesn't get easier anytime. And me being in, you know, my empathical, emotional, messy self, I was like I was full on like ugly crying because I connected with that first episode, and then to know now he's gone, and he was probably, you know, thinking, oh, if the guys ever come back, you know, I'll get to do it again or whatever, and now he can't. And I'm not going to quit talking about it because, I'll be ugly crying all up on the camera, and no one needs to see that. But before I get into location number 2, a fun fact is the Birdcage Theater and the bar of the Grand Hotel, which is actually now Big Nose Kate's, are the only 2 original buildings that survived the fire of 1882. I thought that was a really cool fun fact that we learned all up on the Ghost Adventures. Bringing us on to location number 2, which is Big Nose Kate's Saloon. And like I said, it was originally the bar of the Grand Hotel, and now it's a standalone place of its own. And there was a man at the time who was the caretaker of the hotel and was kind of like this homeless vagrant thing that lived, this guy that like lived under, basically like in the basement, like under the rocks. And he had this private little dwelling that he didn't let anybody in, and there was good reason for that, because he was in there digging up holes in the silver mines under the hotel, and he was hiding his stash, and he wanted nobody to have a part of it. And so when he didn't show up for work for a couple of days, they sent somebody down there like check on him, and he wasn't there. Let me put on my big surprise face. I can tell you right now why he was not there. Because some homeboy miner down the road found out he was all up in their cookies digging in their silver mines, and they took him to the middle of BFE, and they finished business. Okay, thanks, bye. And surprise, surprise, they have still never found the man. But I can give you 3 guesses on where his spirit is, and you're only gonna need 1. Okay, so we've made it to lockdown time, right? Wrong! They go to start the lockdown at Big Nose Caves and they can't because there is a guy who is in there and all of a sudden now he's like having a heart attack or a stroke. Of course. Like that's just how the GAC rolls. Like leave it to something kind of ironically that never happens happen. So they shifted focus and they're like, fine, we will start at the Birdcage Theater, right? Wrong! Following the interviews the day before, a girl named Patricia who works there, kind of like as a flapper girl or whatever, a floozy, was interviewed, and she was actually groped by something or someone following the interviews at the Birdcage. And so, in true Ghost Adventures fashion, in the skit at the beginning that I was talking about, you see these two girls, and one of those girls dressed up in one of the dresses is actually Ashley Wasley. She is not only Jay Wasley's wife, but she's also the still photographer for the GAC. And since she was dressed up like that yesterday, they thought, ding, ding, ding. The light kind of went on, and of course, they were like, they seen a new piece of bait. So they called Ashley in, and they're like, hey, would you dress up and do this? And on the fly, and in true GAC fashion, she was like, sure, I'll do it, no big deal. You go, girl. Props to you. And I think we can all agree that she rocked it. Because not only was it on the fly, but she's never been on camera in that sense before, and I thought it was awesome. So can we start lockdown now after all that mess? No. They're now in Nerve Center, like, freaking out because they're hearing this music, like, coming from the theater. And they got all excited thinking, woo, it's music, it's cool. Wrong. There's an actual other bar down the road that was having karaoke night, and you could hear the music coming through the walls of the building. Really? But on a funny note, whoever that homeboy was singing just got his or her karaoke compared to a disembodied voice. Burn! That is like the biggest burn I've ever seen. But either way, it was hashtag debunked. Now can we start lockdown? Yes, we can finally start lockdown, and I'm so excited. And they begin lockdown by, of course, offering the girl and Ashley, the girl Patricia and Ashley up as bait to these wonderful spirits in the Birdcage Theater. And they even play music to like set the tone, make it sound like it's a hoppin' saloon that is full of fun and activity and booze and shenanigans. And they're not really getting a lot of activity. And then the music player that they have going is like on repeat, and it just stops. At that point, the guys are like, I think we'll leave them here to see if they, can get anything going on. And so they leave Ashley and Patricia in there by themselves. And instantly, the air feels heavier. Things start happening. And all of a sudden, they're sitting there like filming from an angle. And you see Patricia kind of holding on to like the table for support because she is feeling the effects of being in there. And it's like really heavy and dark. And she's like, I don't know what's going on. And all of a sudden, you see her hair like do one of these numbers. Like, are you kidding me? It was straight up. And she thought she got caught like on something like a nail. No, hunty, you got caught on something. I'll tell you what you got caught on. You got caught on a ghost. That's what you got caught on because he was flipping your hair. He was just a hair flipping good time. And he was just like, I'm here. How you doing? And so you can even see her react to it. Like, kind of like do one of those numbers. Oh my God. When I seen that, I was on, like, up off the bed. I would have, if that would have happened to me, I would have been out. Out, 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 out. In my car down the road, out. Gone. I'm all about, like, paranormal activity and seeing it and whatever, yada, yada, yada. I'm still learning it's, like, to deal with being, like, touched or breathed on. No. No. So then Zach and Aaron go into the Birdcage Theater themselves to try to investigate. And they've been in there before. They thought, oh, we know what it feels like before. We've been here. Wrong. The air has changed. It's gotten darker and heavier. And have you noticed that, like, the guys will go somewhere and, like, they'll be, perfect example, like the Goldfield. They go into that room where the girl was chained up or whatever, and they always enjoyed being in there. It was always a calm place, and the last time they were there, like, it's changed. It's gotten really dark, and it makes you wonder, like, over time how the spirits kind of take that energy and things with it by people poking at them with, like, sticks. how they kind of react to that and the energy changes and the air changes. And so they do like an EVP burst session, and while they're doing that, Zach's asking in this area where like you could hire working girls, how much would it be for a good time? Oh, hunty, we all know that my love for you is completely free. Anytime, day or night, 365 days a flipping year. I won't even charge you more for holidays. Whew. After that skit, it is completely free. Just saying. He can get up all in my cookies anytime. K. Moving on, Zach and Aaron then head over to Big Nose Kate's, and they briefly investigate over there. And when they get down to where the Swampers' room is, they have that little SLS like Connect Cam thing that they use, which I think is flipping awesome. That's insanity to me, like that you can do that. But anyway, they're using the Connect Cam, and they get this little figure mapped over to the left, and he's like standing there like guarding the door. And then the SLS camera malfunctions, and so of course Zach's like, Aaron, go in there. Of course he's like, Aaron, go in there, because now Ashley's gone, so Aaron's bait. Surprise face. So Aaron, of course, is like tripping out. He's like, dude, I don't want to go in there. And really, I don't blame the man. First of all, that room is creepy. It's got like a big hole. Second of all, it's pitch black. They're in darkness. We all know how they roll and how they work, right? Right. And third, there is a giant ass hole with like a ladder in it that my klutzy ass would fall right into, and you never see me again. I'd be out. Bye. Bye, Felicia. I'd be gone. So no, I don't blame him for tripping out. I'd be tripping out too. So of course, what does he do? He then leaves Aaron because they hear footsteps. So he's like, I'm gonna go investigate these footsteps. And Zach and Aaron's like, dude, really? Zach, help. And so they leave him to his own devices with the Swamper on his own. And of course, it's kind of how the episode ends because they want us wanting more. Damn them. Ugh. So that's all I have for you guys for GA Recap Monday, but I will be back tomorrow for GA QA Tuesday. I will also be back for What Should I Do Wednesday, and I'm also doing a special video on Thursday for my book review of Zach's new book, I Am Haunted, which I'm really excited to talk about. And I'm also going to be here Friday for GA Flashback Friday, so I have a full plate for you guys. I'm so excited. As always, I'm so honored to be doing these videos for you guys every week, and I'm so honored to be one of your wonderful admins and giving my 2 cents on almost everything, and I cannot wait to continue to grow and see what we have in store for us. And don't forget that we are also on Twitter now at www.twitter.com/capital letters GA_lowercase paranormal, and I will put all of those links in the video below for you guys. As always, have a wonderful rest of your week. I will see you tomorrow. Until then, much love. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay warm. It is still a polar vortex outside, and I think it's going to be forever. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Much love.